Nothing's happening. Let's go down with standard. Check if any more things happening on the radio.
Live from the northern oasis, 87.8 The Tower. It's the host with the most, and someone call him the king of the airwaves. Give it up for Spud!
Good morning, Chinaris. This is Spud on 87.8 The Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis studios. And boy, oh boy, do we got a show for you today. This is Waking Up with Spud. Good morning, Chinaris. It is at the top of the hour, and we got a show for you today. And you know, I was sitting here, Bill Bucket, Gene the Weatherman. We were in the studio just chopping it up. And, you know, some days, you know, we have breaking news, top tier stories. The number one marketing team, the number one news crew, the number one weather station, and, you know, traffic reports coming into you at the top of the hour. And, you know, it's easy to do that. That's our bread and butter, our pies and mash. It's the foundation. But sometimes, and not very often, but sometimes, you know, we got to figure out the story. We got to come up with something to say. And you know, I was thinking we're gonna ask Chinaris a question today. We're gonna ask them, who are you when nobody's watching? You know, it's easy to be honorable when there's an audience. It's easy to look like a good person when somebody is keeping score. When you're the captain and the crew is watching. That's easy work. That's easy work. But what about the moments when nobody would ever know? That's where character lives. That's where you become the person that you want to be. I talk about it all the time on the show. It's the essence of who you are. Yeah, you can put on a fake facade, a show, what's the word? The pageantries, the act, the charade. But it's what you do behind the curtain, type shit, that really makes who you are. You know, we have our wonderful, fearless leader Finn here, and he, you know, he doesn't do all the talking that, you know, yours truly does. He's not yapping just to yap. You can see him that he's always studying us, watching us, you know, making sure everybody's moving and got the right motion, type shit. And the thing about it is character isn't a performance. It isn't a great, you know, it's not me right now on the air live on 87.8 Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis studios. So what it is all the things I do behind the scenes that keep the consistency going. Never lying, broadcasting, giving everybody, whether I agree with them or not, a voice. Free radio, free Chinaris. We've all met people who put on a show. They'll help someone as long as somebody sees it. They'll be generous as long as they're getting thanked for the job. We know that. But they'll do the right thing as long as there's something in it for them. But real character isn't a performance; it's a habit. It's a consistency. It's coming back for more. It's helping somebody when there's no benefit to yourself. The strongest people aren't the loudest. Now, I know that's kind of a cliche because I'm Spud on 87.8 The Tower. I'm always talking. I'm always loud. But that comes with the job title. There was a lot of things that came before the radio. And back to what I was kind of getting at, the point of it is that the strongest people aren't the loudest. They're the ones quietly doing what's right every single day. Like Finn, for example, like we were saying, you know, he's not sitting there in his thoughts watching us because he's judging us. He's watching us because he's hoping we're making the right decisions. I think that has a lot to do with why TNO and TNO Studios is so successful. Think of it like a test. Well, how should I put this? If you're just tuning in, this is Spud on 87.8 The Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis Studios. Today we are talking about doing the right thing when no one is looking. And there's a little something I like to call the shopping cart test, or the backpack test. Think of it this way. Imagine you're finished shopping. Nobody's around. You could leave your cart sitting in the parking lot. Nobody's going to fine you. Nobody's going to yell at you. Nah, everybody knows nobody even knows who you are. Everybody knows that they've done it one time or another. So why put it away? When you get back from what I meant by the backpack test is everybody's got their little fortresses and their bases and their dwellings, homes, camps, whatever you want to call it. And the thing about it is, when you get home from a long journey, backpack stuffed to the brim, do you go to the right places and dispose of it, putting the medical supplies where the medical supplies go, and the ammunition where the ammunition goes, and all that type shit. And do you do that, or do you just throw it in the most convenient place? Do you not take back the shopping cart? It's all relative. Why put it away? Because it isn't about the cart. It isn't about making space in your backpack. It's about proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who leaves things better than they found them. Little decisions become big habits. Chinaris isn't different. This applies here every day. That's where the backpack comes in. That's where the maybe you find a crate that is clearly belongs to somebody. Maybe you see a gate left open. Maybe you see a car unattended. Maybe you find someone's dropped backpack. Nobody saw you. Nobody could prove anything. That's where your values get tested, people. That's where you got to be the bigger person. You don't know what other people are going through, all the nuances that come with that walk a mile in my shoes, blah, 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 blah. But not when everyone is watching, but when nobody is. I think that's important. I think that's a good time. I think this is a good subject for today. This is Spud on 87.8. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the responsibilities of doing things when people are not around. Integrity. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about integrity. People throw around the word like loyalty and honor all the time. I hear it. I hear people arguing on my show constantly. You have no loyalty. You have no honor, and they're just bickering back and forth. And but none of those words mean anything without integrity. Integrity means your actions match your words. Don't be a person that do as I say, not as I do. I don't do that. Preach all the time on this show about consistency, sticking to your values, being a good person, whether you're on or off the air, and the ability to share the opportunity that everybody can have. What do I mean by that? I don't care if you're a crackhead on the coast or the leader of the biggest faction in the lands. Shut up, Ben. Everybody gets an opportunity at this table. If you have something that's prevalent, important, and I believe is what the people need to hear, not a bunch of rhetoric, not a bunch of slander, that doesn't grow anything. I've helped dozens of people start businesses, and the whole point of that is people say, oh, you need to be loyal to this, you need to have honor about that. And I say, no. You need integrity. Whether you're standing in front of a crowd or standing completely alone, if you tell someone you're trustworthy, then be trustworthy. When trusting yourself is the only thing you can do, that is, you're judging yourself. You're being one's judge, jury, and you can punish yourself. But I used to know this guy, right? And you're listening to Spud on 87.8. And this guy was all talk. But nobody believed that he was all talk. Everybody thought he was a solid dude. He was always talking about action. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to be, focused on taking care of these problems and dealing with these situations. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. It was all the people that were, honor this, loyalty that. And it raised something inside of us. It grew this. Yeah, we do need loyalty. We do need honor. We do, you know what I mean? We had it. We have it. We're gonna keep it. But when people start talking about rising up and showing honor and loyalty to your ideologies, all of that gets washed away when you find out the guy has no fucking integrity. People always come up to the castle, and Finn's kind of a stickler about keeping the grass mowed around here. Keep it, we always got to cut back bushes and cut trees. And I was sitting on the other, I saw him the other day. He was walking around the courtyard and kind of just observate. There's people all around. We get tons of people coming up to the studio and wanting to talk business and doing Mr. Bones tours and Spud Core and getting beef from T&O Cattle Company and just on and on and on. And Finn's walking around, and I'm just kind of sitting there in my own thoughts, watching kind of what he's watching, but we're not next to each other. And Finn's smoking, and he walks up to me and he goes, Spud, do you know why we keep the grass cut around here? And me being me and a little naive, a little wispy, I go, because that's the thing to do. It shows that we care about the oasis and that this land is holy land and hollow ground, and it's important to keep up with the appearance. Half a success is looking like you belong there. Half of success is just playing the part, looking like you belong there. The other half is the hard work, the tenacity. And I said all this, and he goes, "No." And I go, "Oh, well, what's it all about then? Why? You keep your grass short because snakes hang out in tall grass." And I don't think Finn's worried about snakes in the animal sense. It's a metaphor. The entire oasis is a metaphor. We keep the grass cut because we don't allow snakes around here. We want people with integrity. Integrity grows where the grass is the shortest. You don't have somewhere to hide. You're not peeking around corners and sneaking around, old slithery snake type shit. What you're doing is you're being responsible for your actions. It's called integrity, people, and it's pretty fucking important. What you do in front of people, how you present yourself to people, and in my opinion, one of the most important parts of it, the little secret sauce, is what you do when people aren't around. Stand on all 10 toes. Be committed. You're live with Spud on 87.8 The Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis Studios, and we'll be back with more integrity talk after the short commercial break. Spud here. Spudcore is the first name in action sports in Chernarus. Are you ready to take a leap of faith? Do you have what it takes? Well, if you do, here's your chance to get your name up on the Wall of Fame. This action-packed, high-flying extravaganza is waiting for you at the Northern Oasis. Testing your skills with your friends is easy with obstacles starting from beginner to expert levels. So you can jump the furthest and find out who is the king or queen of the core. For the price of just 4 rags each, you're guaranteed to have an epic time.
The Northern Oasis is not responsible for any injury, including death.
Love the radio, man.
Attention, a civil suit has been filed and we need help getting the message out to the public. Waldorf has filed charges against Glenn Quinn and his entire department. We have information that ties this department to many crimes across Chernarus. Please help us locate more victims of Glenn Quinn and his associates so we can bring them to justice. Anyone who has witnessed or has been victim to these officers' crimes, please report to Officer Gumdrop or Green Mountain. Thank you for your assistance in this matter.
Oh shit.
This is Spud on 87.8 The Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis Studios. We're live on Good Morning Chernarus, and today we're talking about doing the right thing when nobody is around. It's your integrity type shit. The reputation, your character. Here's something my great-great-granddad, Grandpa Russet, shout out Grandpa Russet Potato, used to say. Your reputation is what people think you are. Your character is what you actually are. You can fool a town, you can fool your friends, hell, you can even fool your enemies, no matter who they are in these lands. But you can't fool yourself. At the end of the day, you know exactly what kind of person you are. That is important. Because, yeah, you can do the old fucking dog and pony show and make everybody your buddy and oh, everybody likes you and oh, you're always you're out there shaking hands and kissing babies and loving everybody and oh, he's great, he's wonderful. But if you're a piece of shit, you know it. You know when you're doing something wrong. Most people think doing the right thing means some huge heroic moment. A king in the castle, king in the castle. Usually it doesn't. It means returning something that isn't yours. If I make a promise on this station, Spud on 87.8 Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis Studios, I keep my word. I'm a man of my word. Paying someone what you owe, cleaning up your own mess type shit. These are all values Finn has taught us here at the Northern Oasis Studios. He's always watching because he expects the utmost from us. That is what has made this place, this studio, everything so extremely successful. Accountability, integrity, everything else that correlates with it. Sticking up for somebody that can't stick up for themselves. Helping somebody who can never pay you back. Those little choices add up. The foundation of trust. This is not something you can build overnight. You're not going to do one thing and then it turn into something that is just flourishing. You know, some groups survive for years. Trust. No fear. Not bigger guns. Trust. You have to be able to trust. Because every member knows others will do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. Now, does that mean every single time you get back, and going back to my analogy earlier about the backpack and the shopping cart, when you get back and you had a successful day out, you got all this stuff and you're exhausted. That is an opportunity that you can come to a friend and say, "Hey man, I'm fucking beat. I'm gonna go crash out. I have this backpack full of stuff. Would you be able to put the bullets where the bullets go and the beans where the beans go, and et cetera, et cetera?" But back to the shopping cart analogy. For the most part, that's when people are here. When you can lean on the other pillars that create this tower of your that's Castle Talk for you people that don't know. We're broadcasting live from the TNO Castle at the TNO Studios. Very tip top. But the point is that you got to do the things, the integrity, the things, you know, honor, loyalty. Yeah, okay, everybody's got that. But integrity. You put the shopping cart back analogy is what I'm talking about. Nobody's in the parking lot. The store's closed. You're there all alone. Are you putting the shopping cart back? Are you leaving it in the fucking... Are you leaving it? Are you being a dirtbag and leaving it? Or are you doing the right thing? It's important. So here's today's challenge, Janaris. Do one good thing that nobody will ever know you did. Don't tell your buddies. Don't tell Spud on 87.8. Don't leave me a note. Post it up on my bulletin board at the bottom of Spud Tower. Don't expect a thank you. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Because someday, when your name comes up, people may remember your reputation. You can talk around the campfire and share a couple flasks of vodka, hit a couple morphines, pop a couple codeines, have a good time, get a little loose. Talk about honor, talk about loyalty. But it's your personal integrity that signs that check. But will you be remembered for your character? Will you be remembered for this? And in the very end of everything, that's the only opinion you will have to live with, is what did you do for people to remember your character and your integrity? Because that will create the platform for your loyalty and your honor. I'm Spud on 87.8 The Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis Studios. Let's go to the phones. Let's see what Chinaris has to say about this. We'll be back with more after this short commercial break.
Well, there's a group called Eastside Traders looking for new recruits. They aren't looking for soldiers or ideologues. They're looking for the ones who know how to keep their heads down and their packs full. Scavengers, survivalists, and people who know how to talk their way out of a tight spot. What exactly is the Eastside Traders' philosophy? Commerce over conquest. They don't want to rule you, they just want to trade with you. If that sounds like a break you've been waiting for, head over to the Northeast Airfield. Look for the red and white Canadian flag and ask about their intern program. The post still stands, and you can stand with the Eastside Traders. Attention, a civil suit has been filed and we need help getting the message out to the public. Waldorf has filed charges against Glenn Quinn and his entire department. We have information that ties this department to many crimes across Chernarus. Please help us locate more victims of Glenn Quinn and his associates so we can bring them to justice. Anyone who has witnessed or has been victim to these officers' crimes, please report to Officer Gumdrop or Green Mountain. Thank you for your assistance in this matter.
You are live with Spud on 87.8 The Tower,
Spud.
broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis Studios. We're going to get right into the phones here, talk to some people around Shinar, see what they think about integrity, loyalty, and honor. Doing the things you should do when nobody's around. Go ahead, first caller. You're live with Spud on 87.8.
Spud, I'm sorry to interrupt. I swear I am usually better at this when you are on the radio, but I keep hearing this advertisement you're playing for the court case with Glenn Quinn. I swear I'm not going to be long. I'm going to talk about integrity and loyalty in a second, but we have the date for the court date, if you want it.
I would love to hear it. Thank you, Jekyll. Hit me with the date.
It's going to be the 15th of August at 9 p.m. eating some tomato time.
15th of August. Eating some tomato time.
9 p.m. Exactly, yep.
9 p.m. Got it.
All right. I appreciate that. And on a more topic that this fits more your radio show right now, doing the right thing when nobody is looking around and you know, integrity and loyalty. Unfortunately for me as a clown, my loyalty is solely to the ringleader and the lady, you know. But
Of course.
I've had my my fair share of moral dilemma. Is that the word? You know, clowns,
Yeah.
we don't really have a lot of morals, you know. We kind of do whatever we want, but I'd like to think I do the right thing sometimes. And, you know, whether it's like running into a shelter out in the woods and not taking absolutely everything out of it for greedy purposes, or, you know, whether it's like seeing a crackhead on the coast. And, you know, what I usually do is I drive cars a lot, Spud. Quite often, actually, and I've picked up my fair share of crackhead, and I've delivered them to their humble abode on the multiple occasions, just to do the right thing, you know, not for fame or not for to make myself feel better, but that individual who's on the coast and is having a rough day, have a better day.
I agree with that 100%. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, doing stuff for crackheads is exactly what I'm talking about. It is doing the things when nobody's looking. It's a crackhead. Nobody cares. Nobody's interested in that. But doing the right thing, helping somebody out that can't repay you, that's the integrity I'm talking about, Jekyll. It is the things that you do in the dark that will eventually come to the light. Right. Jekyll, you know, when we do this show, we always like to let you guys have the last word, the last say, because it feels like open, free radio more. So, you know, all of Chernarus is listening. You're on the #1 radio show in Chernarus. You got the final word, my man. Let them hear it. Let them know what you're thinking, what's going on in your life, what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Ah, shit. Well, I'm going to say that if there is any clownists listening, I know that lately the attacks on Green Mountain have been nowhere. You know, we've been getting attacked quite a lot recently, and every single attackers have been repelled quite largely. Lots of blood was spilled and lots of lives was lost. What I would say to the radio right now is that stop fucking around and you'll stop finding out.
Too right. Too right. Couldn't have said it better myself. Jekyll, thank you so much for calling in today. If it wasn't for great listeners like you, this show would not be possible. And so a tip of the hat from me, my man. It was great to hear from you. And I'll be seeing you on August 15th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard eating squishy tomato time.
Yeah.
And let's get some law. Let's get some order. Let's take care of the ones that have been taking care of us the longest. Shout out Waldorf. Shout out all the people that have been dealing with Glenn Quinn's mayhem for this whole time. Golden Compass Hiking Club. Shout out Stella. I know that they've been really, grinding her gears. And, until next time, Jekyll, stay safe out there. I hope people learn their lesson not to fuck with Green Mountain.
Don't worry about me, Spud. It's the other people that needs to stay safe, not me.
Too right, too right. I hear you loud and clear, my man. Okay, go ahead, next caller. You're live with Spud on 87.8 The Tower, broadcasting live from the Northern Oasis Studios. We're talking about integrity today. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much. If it wasn't for you, like I said before, this show would not be possible. Shout out Chinaris. Shout out Free Radio. Long live the Oasis. Long live Free Radio. Suicide's a real deal. It's a real problem. Check in with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Let them know that you care. Let them know that they're not alone. If they're not there, leave a note. You're not alone, Chinaris. Leave a note for me if you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to vent to, if you feel like you're having bad thoughts, come see me at the Oasis. We always got a door open for you. We'll take care of you. And until next time, people, put a fork in these spuds. I'm done.